And hello again. This is a video about my redtail catfish I've had for about 20 years. I got them in 2003 from Pet City, Mount Cravat in Brisbane. They are not illegal in Australia, even though there's a lot of misinformation. You just can't import them into Australia. So if someone has magically bred them in Australia like 20 years ago, you can have them, etc, etc. Unless they go on the noxious list, then they're illegal and you have to get a permit. I thought I would just clear that up first before we go into this video. None of these fish in this video are for sale. They're all my pet fish from home. Anyway, enjoy. We're going to feed a giant redtail catfish. This is Mr. 20-year-old redtail cat. Oh my god. We are going to feed him, and we're going to feed all these monsters in this big tank, which is another 9 foot by, look at them all following me, 9 foot by 4 foot. Mr. Saratoga, lots of Oscars, lots of peacock bass, lots of Central American cichlids, some cool Asian hemianthus catfish. There is one there. There are a few native fish and stuff in there as well. And the giant gouramis. I do have obviously other tanks with other fish all over the place, but we're just going to go for a few different select tanks in this video. Right, I'm going to put my giant bowl of food on the ground. Yes, we are. We're going to feed these guys and feed the redtail cat, and then we'll jump to more in the video. And this tank is another 9 foot by 4 foot. It is connected to this tank as well, so when I feed these fish, all the food particles go into the sump and then they're pumped back into this tank here, way at the back. So Mr. Redtail can smell that there's food. And he eats a lot. There he is, actually sniffing the water coming in. So he knows there's food. What we're going to do is grab him some pellets first. And again, they're only the tiny little Vitalis pellets. So he could eat like about 4 of these containers, but he's not having a $200 meal today. That's for sure. But if I put the pellets in first, he will just vacuum them up. And then we'll fill them up with some fish food and stuff. Fish food? Yeah, we're feeding fish with fish food. Here he comes, Mr. Vacuum. So he's around about 1 meter long. Doesn't look 1 meter long, but this is a big tank, as I said. So if you've known this catfish from my shop, I've had him on display for about, 18 years. So he's been home for the last year or so. So he's probably close on 20 years now. Yep, you get the last ones, we'll give you some frozen food. Lovely catfish. I do want to get a bigger tank as well, because 9 by 4 is not really big enough for them. But again, I need to move and all that sort of stuff, so we can get them in a huge big pool with some other bigger fish. Hopefully by then all the bigger fish will be bigger and he won't eat them, because he just tries to eat every single fish in his pond, tank, etc. And it is a handful of dead animals that is going in the tank. Some behind you. And this tank gets quite a lot of different types of food. So Vitalis is a really, really good food. So these are the cichlid pellets. I think unfortunately Vitalis in Australia is going to stop importing these, which is a bit of a shame because we'll have to go to another different pellet from them. But they're a soft pellet. I'm not going to go through the whole container because that is a $50 container, but that's going to give them extra sort of nutrition and that they're not going to get from the frozen fish. So here we go. Definitely need a bigger pellet. I think Dimax is getting a bigger pellet soon. Hopefully it's a pellet and not just a wafer, but we'll find out. I think that's available in the next month or so. So expect a video on that. We are trying to get some decent sort of size pellets for these guys. Because yeah, as I said, you can't really just feed them all frozen food and all that as well. Definitely getting big. Okay, that's all the pellets they're going to get with that because lots and lots of particles. In my sump though, which is down here, very noisy sump, I do have a whole lot of little cichlids in there, so they will get all those particles once they go into the sump before they go into the pre-filters. Let's give them some frozen food. And I'm just going to finish the video off with feeding some of the stingrays. Yes, I have lots of stingrays. That's why my name is Paul Stingray. I don't tend to have a lot of videos about the stingrays, I've noticed, but if you want to see more stingrays videos, just comment down below, click the thumbs up so I know, and I'll try and post more. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.